We're taking a look at the SWAC, MEAC, SEAC, and CIAA. It's the Sports Kings HBCU Report.
And right now, Dean Reed, my friend, by popular demand, it is the HBCU Report because so many of our listeners have chimed in and Rob and Dean, y'all need to talk more HBCU sports. So right now we're giving it to you, and we're honored, and it's an honor and a pleasure to be joined by none other than Clark Atlanta University's head football coach, Daryl McNeill. Coach McNeill, first of all, thank you for joining us on Sports Kings Radio.
Thank you for having us.
No problem. Of course, you guys are set to play Georgia State University September 2nd over at the Georgia Dome, and what is anticipated to be a big game for both schools. What can we expect when the two teams collide?
Oh, well, I just think it's going to be a great, hard-fought game. I really do. Georgia State had a fine season last year, and we were into our first season here at Clark Atlanta. And we're just very excited about the opportunity. We talk about the backyard brawl with Morehouse, and we kind of call this the front yard game, to where, we just we're right in between the both of them. So we feel great about the game at Georgia State. Coach Curry and I have been friends throughout the years, and he's going into his 36th, 37th year coaching. I'm right at 28, 29, and I know I've known him for over 20 years, and it's just great to, go against one of the masters of the game. So I just feel good for the community, itself, that we have something right here at home and being able to play in the Dome.
Now, you're talking about going up against Morehouse, but now, Georgia State's the new kid on the block, and they do play in the Dome. How big is this kind of game to your program, and are the players excited playing out there in the Georgia Dome?
Yes, sir. We're very excited about it. We played last year out at Edwards Jones Stadium out in St. Louis, and we're returning there this year also. But this gives us more of a home field, home field advantage right now. It's kind of like the Battle of Atlanta. It's kind of what we're gearing up to be here at home. We have a lot of friends there. As I mentioned earlier with coaches, we have coaches over there. We're friends with each other. A lot of players, are friends with each other. They worked out together throughout the summer and doing some things, getting prepared for both seasons. Didn't give any secrets away, of course, but at the same time, it's just an exciting opportunity for us to go over there and play in the Dome, play where the Falcons play, and because at some point in time, if you put on that helmet, that's what you want to do is get to that ultimate level. So, again, we're just really excited about the opportunity. I know our players are. We've started breaking those guys down, looking at the film that we exchanged over the summer. We finished up our last scrimmage this morning that we felt pretty good about, and so now from here on out, everything's about Georgia State.
All right, Sports Kings Radio, News and Talk 1380, WAOK. Rob and Dean on the line right now with Coach Daryl McNeill from Clark Atlanta University talking about the upcoming season. Now, on the defensive side of the ball, Coach, you have two guys that were named first-team All-SIAC in the preseason polls, and Daryl Strong and also Ricky Moore. How important are those two guys to your football team if you expect to have a winning season this year?
Oh, well, it's great. I mean, our defense, if anyone has followed Clark Atlanta football over the last 3 to 4 years, Coach Powell has done an outstanding job with those guys. But Daryl Strong is our mainstay on our defensive line. He's our pass rusher. He's also one of our great run stoppers. He's also our team leader by example. He's a quiet young man who does a lot of work on the field, and he's definitely there. Now, Ricky is the exact opposite. Ricky is a kid that was named first team in linebacker. He broke his leg toward the end of the season last year, but he's back fully recovered. He's just the inspiration. He's the guy that pumps everybody on defense nonstop. So, last year we were number one ranked defense in pass defense, and of course everything starts up front. A lot of times defensive back coaches, I know mine did, and Coach Peoples wanted to take all the credit. But when defensive line is putting that pressure and blitzes, linebackers are blitzing those guys, putting pressure on that quarterback, you can have the number one pass defense. So felt good about those guys on defense, and we're really excited for them. They're returning 9 over there. It's making it a little bit tougher for us to get started over here on offense throughout camp. But we have had some success, and that's a plus for us.
Now, offensively, Coach, what kind of scheme are you going to be bringing in to a lot of people who haven't seen your program play?
Well, what we try to do is give us multiple situations through multiple formations, pretty much running the same plays with using multiple formations. You know, again, Winston Thompson has graduated and gone on. And, you know, what we've been able to do, we've had that one bullet, like I like to call him the bullet, for years here. And what we've been able to do through recruiting is go out and recruit some kids that can put the ball in the end zone. You know, we started out with our quarterback, Brian Manns, is back. After being out of school for 2 years, he's come back in and done an outstanding job. T.J. Smith, who's from the Atlanta area, has come in and done a great job at hopefully backing him up and pushing him for a starting role. And Tyreek Williams, a young kid from Newton County who had an outstanding high school career, is also here with us. And all three of those young men are doing an outstanding job in leading the offense. But we've improved some things on our offensive line, which is, you know, the emphasis of the recruiting season. And recruited a couple of young men from Jacksonville, Florida, Darren McPherson, who's a 10-6, 100-yard guy, 100-meter guy. So the thing was increasing our speed, you know, from last year, and also developing one more playmaker or three more playmakers other than the one that we had from last year.
Sports Kings Radio, News and Talk 1380 WAOK, Ryman Dean, chopping it up right now with Clark Atlanta University head football coach Daryl McNeill. Coach, let me ask you this. In regards to athletics over in the Atlanta University Center, of course, the U.S. Department of Education is working out a deal with Morris Brown College to allow them to come out of their debt situation with them, which is around, I think, about $10 million. How big would it be for Morris Brown to come out of this debt situation, regain accreditation, and then be able to restart their athletic program so that, you know, not only Clark and Morehouse, but you all have Morris Brown back in the fold? How big would that be for the Atlanta University Center?
Oh, it would be great. I mean, just growing up in the HBCU, having graduated from South Carolina State, we look forward at many times of coming here to Atlanta. But being the son of educators, you know, kids in school, I mean, that's the main thing. You're getting young men in school that will be under structured programs, you know, to help get these guys going out here in the real world. I mean, that's basically what it's all about. But, you know, to have Morris Brown back playing football would be great for this community because, again, you know, Atlanta is so big. It has so various fans, nationalities, and all these things, and all of that kind of stuff would definitely help, you know. And the thing about it is getting these young men in school, trying to get an education. And, you know, education here is always first with us here at Clark Atlanta. We were able to do some things, you know, since in the 3 semesters that we've been here. We raised our GPA from a 2.1 to a 2.4 in 3 semesters. You know, we've graduating kids. All of our transfers are on track to graduate next year that we brought in last year. So bringing them back, you know, bringing Morris Brown football back does a lot. And when you're talking about getting 50 and 60 kids, you know, back in school, you know, playing a game that they love to play and doing those kind of things to help make them model young men out in the real world.
All right, Coach Daryl McNeill, Clark Atlanta University, thank you so much for joining us on the Sports Kings HBCU report, and good luck on the upcoming season.
Thank you very much. Anytime and feel free to call at any time. Thank you.
All right, Coach. Thank you, man.
Sports Kings Radio.